Okay, we're going to quickly go through Autodesk Sketchbook. This lesson won't be as long as the other ones. We got down to traditional because we finished up with the synthetic paint ones. So I'm going to run through these very quickly. I just want you to kind of see what each tool will do. So I'm going to click on the first pencil and I'm just going to get black since we're working with pencils. Okay, so this first pencil, if you'll notice, I can turn it up a little bit and you can kind of see it looks like a bunch of circles lined up. It is fuzzy. Let me turn the opacity up a little bit. Okay, so the next pencil is right here, and it just looks like a bunch of really flat ovals stacking up. If you were wanting to draw a caterpillar, this might be the one for you. Also looks kind of like pipe cleaners. The next one. Okay, so we call this cross hatching. Now if I tap it, it kind of looks like that, and I'll tap it right here. Try it with my finger. Okay, so if you want that look, you need it for some reason. This might make a very good patch if you were drawing a scarecrow or something. If you wanted to do a very quick patch, that would work. All right, so I'm going to erase all these. And now let's go to number 3. Now this just has lines going straight across. And tap on them. There. Number 4. And I'll just try going across and see if I tap it. Okay, so this is kind of putting this shape here. Alrighty. Now let's go, here we have a soft eraser. Here we have a ballpoint pen, a felt pen. You have a soft airbrush and a hard airbrush. So these work pretty well. There was an airbrush up in one of the others that I think it was the one that was so, maybe it was in Texture Essentials. It was the dusty airbrush. Okay, so let's erase this one, or these, and go down to this medium brush, and that's kind of turned down a little bit. Paintbrush 4. I'm going to turn that up. Okay, it does tap. If you tap it, it will make this. They kind of look like sails in science. And here's the chisel tip. Now, up in basic, I think it was basic, there was a chisel tip. Maybe it's legacy, not basic, legacy. And actually, this is the legacy chisel tip. And you can adjust it a little bit. It's a little clearer than the one that we just saw down in traditional. So if you want to use a chisel tip, there's 2 options there. Here's a ballpoint, not legacy. Back down here, okay. The broad marker or the large marker. And then we've got these brushes. I'm going to switch this to a green. Now, you can change your colors and stuff by just going down here at the bottom. I prefer just to grab this and move it where I want it. Because if you will, you can look up here at the top, close to right under where the word Copic is. And as you move this, that's the color that you want. To me, it's a whole lot easier to just look up there and switch it than to try to toggle it down at the bottom. That's just me. Okay, so let's try brush 1. And I'll kind of show you what it does. And brush 2. I want it a little wider. So if you want to make plants, I think these would be great. So you have like 3 different options there. And of course, you know, you might want to draw your veins of your plant under it and then like put this over it. But these would make great plants, underwater plants, aquatic plants. And let's see if I tap it. Okay, not very bright. All right. So that is the traditional, and we're going to look at the fine art. These are pencils, and they have different hardnesses. The pencil that we normally use is a number 2 pencil, and it's pretty dark. So there's the 4H. Here's the 3. I'll make it just a little wider. Here's the 2H. Here's the H. Then the F, which may mean fine. I'll have to look that up. HB. B. 2B, 3B, 4B. I need to adjust it every time. If you'll notice, it starts over here. Let me change this to red. It starts over here. Red. Starts over here, and it gets harder darker as it goes across. So if you're doing drawings, then if you're doing it just in pencil, you might want to consider buying a set of pencils that are different hardnesses, because it puts off more or less graphite. Okay, let me switch back to black, and what I'll do is just add a layer and hide this one. All right, so this is 5B. Try to move these up to the same size. Then 6. Then 7. And 8. And 9. So they steadily, I did take 2 strokes with each one, but if you can kind of look over at my thumbnail, which I'm going to call these from now on, these are thumbnails because they're just the small pictures. If you'll notice, the first one, let me just see, pop it back on there. It was lighter, and then these are darker. So that's the differences in these pencils right here. The one that you use probably is the 2B. Unhide layer. All right, since I've created too. I'm gonna go ahead and, okay, it's important, I keep reminding the students in class, don't make this so big. Because if you make it big out here, then you're going to start touching stuff over here and touching stuff over here and you'll accidentally lock it. It's just easier to work here because sometimes you actually will want to start, if you're making a pencil stroke, you'll want to start in the gray area and go up and up and up instead of starting right here and going up, up, because you'll miss making some marks on the edge of your paper. All right, so we went through these pretty quickly. It's the traditional and fine art. You can try those out. We'll work with the halftones and texture. Texture is where we are this week, and actually we've only gotten through not even 2 rows because we're doing some advanced features and stuff too. So I will stop right there.